Hello. Now I want to talk a little bit about the nock, okay, especially nock breaking. So I've actually come across some situations where it's a surprise to me because the customer complained about nock breaking, and throughout, vermeil nock has been around for many years, and for that many years that I've been using the nock, personally, I have never had the nock failing on me. Okay, it has never failed me. But when I sell to many customers around the world, there ought to be some cases where you're like scratching your head. Why did that happen? And I'm gonna share with you probably 3 cases where I've encountered, and maybe you can possibly avoid this thing. Number 1, so this happened a couple of years ago actually, where this kind of push fit nock, basically you don't need glue. You pull it out, you put a new one in. It's friction fitted, so you just push in, it will stay. It's very easy to use. However, that customer didn't know, and maybe it's like his first time using this kind of nocks. So what he did was he put super glue on the nock and then fitted in. So super glue or cyanoacrylic glue, they actually react with the material, okay, polycarbonate. The super glue reacts with polycarbonate material, which result in it becoming brittle. So in that customer's case, when he shoot it, the part where it contacts with the glue, it cracked, it snapped off. So initially I was like, what happened there? It's kind of weird because I've never seen this kind of failure for like, I sold many, and that is like the first time I've ever seen it. So I gave him, of course, a new set of nocks, but later I found out that, hey, I was like, why is there like when you use super glue, right, there's actually this blooming white color that appears when the glue dries. So I saw blooming on his nock. I'm like, what is that? And he said, oh, that's because he used super glue. And that's how I found out that super glue is not compatible with polycarbonate material. So just do not use super glue on any polycarbonate material that you have, like especially the nocks in this case. The second case is double hook. Okay, I actually really don't recommend the use of double hook. Some people think it's cool because it is different from other people. Other people use one hook, they want to use 2 hooks because it makes them special, they are unique. But no, this is actually not unique, and in fact very stupid. Okay, so what I'm gonna say is, you see, when you hook like this, you apply a lot of sideways pressure, because now with 1 finger less pressure, 2 finger is very strong. You have a lot of strength here, and they apply a lot of strength. Well, when you apply excessive amount of strength, you like really want to twist the hell out of the nock. Eventually with enough force, you can still snap the nock. It's just that under normal use, normal people, okay, our non-special, normal, regular human, we don't put that much torque. When we hook like this, we just keep enough pressure to keep the arrow there, but we don't put so much pressure to the point where the arrow bends. Okay, you don't do that. So avoid excessive amount of sideways pressure. Okay, don't do too much. Yes, you put a little bit to keep the arrow on the bow, but not so much that you bend the arrow, which causes inconsistency, and in a severe case, it's so much you break the nock off. Okay, and the third case here is actually rather special. So again, throughout the years of me shooting, I had never had any issue. And then there's this recent case where one of our member, because he was very influenced by the local community here, who loves to use very low spine arrow. Like for example, on a 40 pound, he will use like a 700 spine, very low spine arrow. So now, if based on my experience, you will need a 500 spine for that. In the worst case, you can go down to 600, but 700 is very, very low. But he indeed used 700. So after some time of using, the nock broke off, and that was like kind of odd. Like initially, I mean, what could you have think of? So after some observation and based on what he mentions, and also based on a slow motion video that I saw when they shoot with this soft spine, what's going on is that with the very, very soft spine, your arrow actually bend a lot, like really wiggle a lot as it launches forward, and the nock here, as it goes out, okay, as it bends, the back end here smashes like this. It smashes into this corner here, the corner of a bow at the arrow pass, okay, this corner here, it smashes into that. After many times doing that, your nock can break off. Okay, so the reason why he used such a soft spine is that they are trying to use arrow spine to cheat katra, because the way that I teach, you cannot completely avoid using katra. You need to have some amount of katra to get your arrow to move around the bow. You need to assist it, give it a little bit. It's not completely zero. You can reduce the use of katra if you have softer spine, but they want to eliminate the use of katra by using as soft as possible, which resulted in a lot of wiggling in the arrow and smashes into the handle. So I actually don't recommend using very, very low spine, because first of all, it's not even historically accurate, because historically you would not do that, because you want your arrow to pierce armor, you want your arrow to survive to be able to pierce armor. So your arrow has to be strong, and strong arrows, unfortunately, doesn't bend that well around the arrow pass. So that's why you need to have some katra to assist, to help the arrow get around the bow, even though when it's stiffer than necessary. So with katra, you won't have this issue, because you're going to tend to be used either correct spine, over spine, maybe a little bit under spine, but it doesn't really matter. Your arrow tend to, the purpose is to not hit here in the first place, right? When you katra correctly, your arrow doesn't hit here at all. You just don't have this breaking off. But when they try to cheat katra, okay, to cheat katra by not using it and relying on as soft of a spine as possible, this thing wiggle like hell and smash here, then these things snap off. It snapped off after the shot, so at least it didn't hurt them, but imagine it got weakened significantly, and as you pull back, it suddenly snapped off. At full draw, right? At full draw, it suddenly snapped off. What's gonna happen? If it snap off, well, sorry, you dry fire the bow. So those are things that watch out when you use nocks, plastic nocks. Metal nocks will survive, but they are heavy and I don't like them.